1963, a cold, fog-covered night in England. The silence was so deep that even the faint, distant sound of an approaching train felt like a mystery. But that night, behind this stillness, a plan was unfolding, one that would change Britain's history for decades to come. August 8, 1963, exactly 3:03 a.m. The Royal Mail up train travelling from Glasgow to London was carrying more than £2.6 million in cash. And that money had caught the eyes of 15 men known as some of the smartest, sharpest, and most dangerous criminals of their time. One train, one gang, and a robbery so clean it shook Britain without firing a single bullet. This wasn't an ordinary train. This was Royal Mail's high-value package train. There were 12 coaches in total, and the third coach carried the money bags, cash collected from various banks, transported to London at night. That night, around 128 money bags were on board, stuffed with thousands of banknotes. Getting access to this information wasn't easy, but the gang had studied the train's timetable, security, and routine for months. The mastermind behind the robbery was Bruce Reynolds, a criminal already involved in several high-profile thefts. Bruce put together a team, ex-military men, a signal expert, a driver, and seasoned criminals. Every man had a specific job. They bought an abandoned place called Leatherslade Farm, where they would hide after the robbery. They scouted the train's entire route multiple times, where it slowed, where it stopped, and the best spot to strike. This was months of planning. And then, the night of August 8th arrived. Time to turn the plan into reality. The gang chose a spot called Bredego Bridge because the train always slowed down there. They first cut the real signal wires and installed their own fake red signal. As the train approached, driver Jack Mills saw the red light and stopped the train. This was the moment the gang had been waiting for. The train stopped, and 15 masked men emerged from the darkness. Black clothes, gloves, faces covered. 2 men overpowered the driver. The others broke open the third coach, where the money was stored. The plan was so flawless that not a single bullet was fired. Nobody was killed. But the driver suffered a heavy blow to the head, a wound that became the biggest trauma of his life. Over 120 money bags were pulled out of the third coach. Each bag was filled with thousands of notes. The gang worked like a machine. One man tossing bags, one loading them onto the truck, one keeping watch. The entire robbery took just 30 minutes, and the gang stole £2.6 million, which today would be worth more than 60 crore rupees. After the robbery, the gang drove to Leatherslade Farm, 27 kilometers away. There they counted the money, changed plans, and waited for the news to break. By the time police reached the site, the robbers had already vanished. But the items left behind at the farmhouse gave the story a new twist. Police found a notebook, fingerprints, and leftover food from the hideout. These clues helped connect the dots. Bruce Reynolds escaped, but many gang members were caught. The infamous Ronnie escaped even after being arrested, fled while on bail, and lived for years hiding in Brazil. But one question remained. Where did the money go? Most of it was never found. Even today, the 1963 robbery remains a mystery. Some robbers were caught, some died, and some maybe are still out there, living somewhere in the world with the stolen fortune. The Great Train Robbery wasn't just a crime, it became a legend,